Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to dig into some recent news, something that might seem, well, quite specific at first glance. But it really opens up a much bigger picture about public health, especially, with everything going on in healthcare right now.
Absolutely.
We're focusing on the first confirmed case of measles this year in a particular state, just one case.
Right.
And our mission today is really to understand, okay, what are the real implications of this single event for you?
And it's fascinating because even one contained case like this, it really throws a spotlight on measles itself.
How so?
Well, it shows how measles can just, find those gaps in immunity within a population. We're talking about a virus that's, frankly, incredibly contagious.
Like really contagious compared to other things.
Oh, definitely. Before vaccines, think about this. One person could infect maybe 9 out of 10 unvaccinated people around them. That R-naught value, the basic reproduction number, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it dwarfs even early COVID strains. So every single case really is a stark reminder. It highlights its presence, not just here, but, globally, too. It ties into all these discussions about diseases coming back and vaccine confidence.
Right. So to really grasp that impact, we need to look at the specifics here. How did this particular case actually happen? Can you walk us through that?
Sure. So the individual involved hadn't been vaccinated against measles.
Okay.
And they also didn't have immunity from, having had measles before.
Got it.
The exposure itself happened during an international trip. That's key.
And you mentioned, or rather the reports mentioned, they weren't contagious during their travel. That seems like a critical point for stopping spread.
Exactly. And that's where the public health investigation gets really meticulous. They figured this out through careful epidemiology.
So like tracking their movements.
Tracking movements, yes, but also understanding the virus's timeline. Measles has a specific incubation period and then a period where you're actually infectious, shedding the virus. Officials confirmed this person was outside that infectious window while they were traveling. So no risk to fellow travelers at that point.
Okay, that makes sense. So once the case was confirmed back home, what did the public health teams do? You hear investigation, but what does that practically mean?
Right. Well, it triggers a really intensive effort, what we call contact tracing.
Finding everyone they might have been near.
Precisely. Health officials moved fast to identify anyone potentially exposed. And those people, the close contacts, they're now voluntarily quarantining, just to be safe.
So the assessment is that it's contained locally.
Based on everything known right now, yes. The medical officers don't believe this single case is going to spark a local outbreak. It's about breaking that chain of transmission, before it can even start.
That's definitely good news for the local community. But here's where it gets really interesting, maybe a bit concerning. While this case seems under control, the bigger picture is that measles is actively spreading elsewhere.
Right.
Nationally, internationally, there are outbreaks happening.
That's exactly right. And this is the crucial context. This one contained case, it happened, but it exists against a backdrop of much wider measles activity globally.
So it's not just a local issue, even when contained locally.
Not at all. It underscores how serious measles really is. It's not just a rash and fever. It can lead to hospitalization, serious complications like pneumonia or encephalitis, and unfortunately, even death.
And the patient now, they're isolating.
Yes, isolating at home. That's critical to prevent any onward spread from this specific instance. But, pull back the lens again.
And you see the global picture.
Exactly. We're seeing worrying resurgences in different parts of the world. Sometimes it's linked to drops in vaccination rates, sometimes instability that disrupts health programs.
And international travel connects it all.
It really does. It makes these distant problems potentially very local very quickly. This single case is a perfect example of that connection.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What does this all mean for you, the listener? We've seen an isolated case handled quickly by public health. That's good.
It shows the system working, yes.
But it's also a really potent reminder, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And maybe the final thought to leave with is this. Think about how one single contained health event,
like this measles case.
Yeah, how it can still offer such important insights into those bigger global health challenges, the ongoing importance of public health awareness, vaccination.
And how connected we all are, really.
Precisely. It shows how individual health, travel, community immunity, they're all linked. Even something happening far away can have relevance right here, impacting, our local healthcare readiness. It's a continuous process.